Good evening
What's
and
going on,
happy
everybody? What's
Monday.
going on, everybody? Happy
Happy
Monday.
Monday to you.
Happy Monday to
you.
you.
Happy
Happy
Monday.
Monday.
Ooh.
Y'all, we tired. And that's where that's coming from right now because we've never opened up
We
like that
are
before.
exhausted.
But anyway, welcome to the live podcast. Don't wait to
Welcome.
be great. We are super excited that you're here. We're
And
also
super sleepy.
tired. Shay has been working me all day today thanks to the Angela Denise Foundation who used these muscles today to move refrigerators, freezers, beds, washing
Dryers.
machines, dryers
What else?
with a dolly and that one heavy refrigerator. Guys, I did a lot of work today. But anyway, thank y'all so much. But we're actually going to talk about that. We're not going to glaze over that. We do want people to know the day in the life of kind of who we are and what we do. And today was a great example of that and how we, I won't say furnished the place, but we just got some necessary things done. So before we get too deep into it, my name is Derek.
Who are you?
I am the founder and thought leader of Second Chance Housing, and that's my program where we take people from homeless to hopeful, right?
Yes.
Where we create pathways out of homelessness, and this does not require a license. That's the super cool part about this. But I'm also the founder and thought leader of Forster Consultants, and that's the teaching side of it. So, Shay, when God changed our life with this, I promise to go all over the world teaching it, and I never take any credit. So that's exactly what we do at Forster Consultants, and we're super excited about that. We got a lot of new people joining the family lately in terms of our coaching. And you guys, I'll admit, like, not to judge y'all, but this new group of people that have been joining us, like, say in the last 30 to probably 45 days, you guys are doing really well, really fast, right? I know everybody does this different, but it's something about these last probably 10 to 12, 15 maybe people that have joined us in the last 30 to 45 days. You guys are moving really fast and what we call moving at the speed of instruction. So congratulations to a lot of you all, like Miss Tia, who just literally commented in the chat.
Listen, we've got to get
rehabbed and remodeled the place and it's ready to go. So Tia, we look forward to coming down to the Haines City to kind of check that place out. And
tell her she better look. She better make sure she got her.
And all that.
Make sure you got your lipstick on and all that because we good at throwing a camera in your face.
We're gonna put your camera, Tia. So anyway, that's who I am. Shay, tell the people who you are, what you do.
Oh, it's my turn?
It's your turn.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Shanya Shea Forston, the president and founder of the Angela Denise Foundation, 501c3 nonprofit organization here in Orlando, Florida, taking women from homeless to hopeful. That was all one breath. There we go.
Wow.
Listen.
Nice and fast.
We have had a long day, but a very productive day. I think a lot of people get into the housing space and they don't know the importance of upkeep, maintenance, making sure that you get things refreshed, refurbished. And that's pretty much what we spent our day doing today. You want to talk about that a little bit?
Absolutely. So, and even before we get too far in, I never take for granted that people just kind of know who we are and what we do. We run these whole things called independent living facilities, and they're literally shared living environments. And that's simply where adults are able to live and thrive without the need for staff and or medical oversight. So similar to a group home or ALF, but without all the license and the state requirements, and there's no staff, right? And you don't have to own the property. So this is the cheat code, guys, for a lot of people that wanted to get into something like this.
Yeah.
But you thought you had to buy the property or get a license. So really quickly, that's who we are, and that's who we represent, right? Yep. So we tell people, like, if you love God, love people, and love real estate, this is it. Again, if you love God, love people, and love real estate, show me something else better than where you can do the will of God, be involved in real estate, and it's a win-win for everybody, and God gets all the credit.
Exactly.
That's what this is. And Shay just kind of told you guys, like, today for us is what we call being in these ILF streets.
Literally.
We literally use that phrase. So from probably about 7:30-ish this morning, we picked up a U-Haul truck.
Yes.
And like Shay said, maintenance is a part of this that we kind of really never talk about. We tell you guys how to get covered and all of that. And at our June conference, we did talk a lot about maintenance. But tonight, let's do that, right? Today, Shay saw the need to replace the washer and dryer at her lady's facility.
Absolutely.
Shay, tell them, why did you do that? Was the machine completely broken? Was it on his last leg? Like, what was the decision?
All right, so the decision is to minimize risk, right? I'm all about risk mitigation. And the dryer, that poor baby was screaming down the house. Even though we tell y'all to implement certain things to fix items. When someone blesses you with a brand new, really nice washer and dryer, you go and get it, right? So we were blessed. The Angela Denise Foundation was blessed with a washer and dryer, pretty much in pristine condition. Never, not much use out of it. So, but in regards to what was already there, it was dated. It had some miles on it. It's seen its day, and was definitely time for a replacement. Okay. So we did that today. We also changed we got a brand new fridge sent over on Friday. I think it was Thursday or Friday. So that happened over there.
Now you had that delivered.
That was delivered.
But today you chose to use me and my muscles.
Yes. So let me see your muscles.
But why?
Can I see your muscles? Yee.
What was the decision in having one set delivered? Because this is a serious question, right? You guys heard me just talk about, right? She used me today to move all of this stuff. Why did you order the other stuff and have it delivered? What was the difference?
So the difference was I actually purchased that stuff through a company that I'm used to doing business with. They accept my 501c3, my tax exemption, and also give me a very, very steeply discounted appliance. It was scratch and dent, so that's what even made it even better. It's like brand new. You saw it today. Very nice quality fridge. And the reason why I had that delivered is because they allow delivery. They provide delivery. Unfortunately, what we got today, well, not unfortunately, but the items that we received today were more donation. So those times when you get donations within a 501c3, or even in your even in your for-profit ILF, you may get donations where people donate to you. Go pick it up, right? And that's literally what we did. I used these muscles over here and my brother. Thank you, Darnell. I love you.
Yeah, Darnell played a big part in this. I couldn't have done that without Darnell. Yeah. So big shout out to Darnell, man. I really appreciate him.
So we went and picked up everything, refreshed everything, helped the ladies kind of clean up a little bit in the area, the laundry room, set that stuff up. And then again, took in an emergency placement today. You had an emergency placement.
Even before we get on to that, though, because that's a whole another subject. Yeah. I want to finish off on the maintenance, because somebody's thinking right now with Derek, what did Shay do with the old set that you just removed? And guys, watch this. Watch how genius this is. Sometimes I get guys that know how to fix this kind of stuff. Remember, Shay houses the women, I house men. My program is called Second Chance Housing right here. So let's just say I get some guy, because Shay said, or her residents said, her ladies told her that the dryer worked great.
It was so loud.
It was loud. It made this noise that sounded like. So that's what we mean by some people will keep that until it absolutely breaks down. But Shay saw the need to replace it. But instead of throwing it away, guess what I did? I'm going to keep it in the garage, because if you remember what we all teach y'all, right? The garage is your storage. Don't go out to U-Haul and buy storage. That's why every one of the houses that we have, our ILFs, the garage is like our storage. Shay's got shelving that she's bought.
I do, yeah.
Like, you ought to see Shay's like it's not normal, right? The garage is truly turned to a storage. So back to that point, I'm going to keep this dryer that absolutely works, because let's just say in the future, one of these go down and we need to use this. Well, it's loud, but it works. But also, let's just say if I happen to get a guy that knows how to fix it. So now we got a dryer that there's nothing really wrong with it, and somebody was able to use the trade to fix it. So I love that.
That's exactly what we got to do today. Yep. So just
now we can talk about that placement if you want to.
I want to just, like you said, also usually we don't really, a lot of times we don't have to replace items like this because we have other things in place in regards to how we cover our appliances and stuff within our homes. But because of the ability to receive this pretty much brand new these units, it was imperative that we went and picked them up. So like I said, we've been busy today.
Absolutely.
We have been busy.
And also, if you're new to us, we're just super relaxed today. We're tired. Exhausted. In fact, we probably won't even go that long today. But we always honor new people, right? That especially people that are new to us and have no clue what this concept is. We always spoil you guys and make sure. So if you got any questions or concerns about the ILF model, how it runs, what is it, how to get started, the first step though, and watch this. If you just text the phrase more info, just MOREINFO to the phone number 407 326-0086. My team will send you immediately our what we will call our introductory webinar. After you watch that webinar, now let's get on a phone call for free, right? A discovery call, and let's talk about it. And Don, you are absolutely not new. Don is family to us. Hey, what's going on, Don? Good to see you, big brother.
Listen, I spilled some beans on Saturday, Don, that were all surrounded by you. So just know that I've already told on you, and we already got the buzz rolling.
And this may be Don's first time seeing us doing the cozy coaching. Usually, guys, for a long time, we just sat behind the computer screen and we just gave the game away. Boom, boom, boom. But one day, this genius decided to do something like this, and then we allowed the people to name it, and somebody named it Cozy Coaching. So this is when we're actually on the couch, and Don, and for all of my new people, we're extremely tired today. Shay worked the heck out of me today, but it was for a great cause. And guys, I wouldn't rather do anything else. Like when I had a 9-to-5 job, clocking in and clocking out, I dreamed of days like this where I'm driving a U-Haul truck, dropping off appliances for the same people that we've taken from homeless to hopeful. So don't forget, guys, we'll do a lot of laughing and joking today. But the bottom line to what this is, guys, it's a ministry. It's a business, but the bottom line, it's a ministry. Not Shay and Derek said, but the Bible says the poor and needy will always be among you, right? So we're just actually doing God's will through real estate. And that's the genius part about how God did this, because we never take any credit. So again, if you love God, love people, and love real estate, you're in the right place. Absolutely. If you thought you needed a license, if you thought you had to get a $30,000 sprinkler system, you're also in the right place, because none of that is required. We lease, we rent until we're able to buy a place. But 95% of people that we teach, Shay, they actually rent or lease these places just like we do. And we still take people from homeless to hopeful. Shay, talk to them a little bit about what was the advantage of you doing this as a nonprofit, and how important was that donation to your 501c3?
So what people don't understand, I think a lot of times when it comes to the nonprofit sector, is that, of course, people can write that off as a charitable contribution. Another thing that it does for me as a nonprofit organization, it shows that I have people that believe in the vision, that believe in what we do, and they're willing to donate. So that's another thing. So I literally, now when I get donations of that sort, I go online and I find a cash value for these items, because I'm not reselling them. I'm not doing anything like that. I'm reutilizing them in the home. So I can now find out the cash value to it and allocate that as a charitable contribution. So not only was it a tangible item, I can also now convert it to currency. So now when people ask, okay, well, how much did you bring in last year or this year as the Angela Denise Foundation? I'm able to say, I had contributions based on this, and this. I show the line items, and then I can also allocate the dollar amount to it.
Interesting. So because somebody donated a washer and dryer to you, you can allocate that as funds that were brought in through the Angela Denise Foundation?
You put a monetary value on it.
Guys, I live in the same house with this woman, and again, like, she always amazes me with this nonprofit stuff. Put a number 3 in the chat if you're like me and you didn't know that. I didn't know that if somebody, if they donated it to you.
Hold on, let me get a little cozy on this couch.
Right. So
you didn't know
put
that.
Number 3 in the chat, guys. If you're like me, and be honest, right? If you didn't know that if somebody donated to you as a nonprofit, you can put a monetary value on that and count that as towards this.
Yes. So like prime example, remember when I got in all of those donations, those the items, I got the fridge freezer convertibles, I got the love sack, brand new, all of that stuff. When we put it in our system, we had to upload the cash value for that. So now, like, not only did I get the $10,000 grant, not only did I get the $5,000 donation, not only did I get, all of these other donations, what I also received was over $15,000 worth of household items that, when you look at the cash value. So what I do is when we put it on our spreadsheet for the year, it literally documents everything. So we put the item, the description, everything. Was it new? Was it slightly used? If it was new, you allocate it as new. If it's slightly used, of course, the price looks different. I'm not just going to go online to homedepot.com and try to figure out how much they paid for this thing brand new and then throw that number on there. But of course, there is a deterioration value that you add or allocate to that to make sure that you're showing that you had a cash or that it can convert to cash.
Good stuff. I love it. So again, guys, we're super casual tonight. We usually go crazily deep on Monday, but I will tell you this: if you missed Saturday's room, that is something to go back and watch. Saturday was an absolute great room. And again, if you're new to us, we want to answer any questions that you guys may have about the ILF model, which again doesn't require any license, right? And you don't have to buy the property to do this. Very different from the traditional group home or ALF. And again, the topic is why the ILF model part 2. Yep. So notice there's a part 2 tonight, and that is simply because part 1 on Saturday, guys, was just so crazily good.
Lot,
so
yeah. You hammered me.
Part 2.
You got me good on
Shay
on
spoke a lot about the nonprofit, and I really kind of put Shay on a little bit of a hot seat.
You did.
Which is really not a hot seat for Shay because she's really good at that. And I'm not just saying it because I know her and I'm married to her. No. But Shay is really good at that nonprofit space. And it didn't just happen like that overnight, guys. No. Right? It took a lot of time and going through the motions of the ocean, right? Figuring things out. Because, guys, you don't wake up and just know this. And we tell you guys all the time, no matter how many times you come on YouTube and listen to us and check us out, there is no greater lesson than actually getting into the game of something.
You have to. Yeah.
You got to get your feet wet. So without that, that's tough. Mm-hmm. So that's why we offer one-on-one coaching. That's why we offer these workshops. In fact, on the 27th of this month, I do believe that's a Tuesday, that's our second workshop of the month. So as you guys know, we're doing 2 workshops a month now, all the way up until December 17th. Specifically geared to people that want to kind of pick and choose and a la carte our coaching services. Yeah. So maybe instead of paying for the complete coaching, maybe you want to know specific stuff. In prime example, the first 2 things that we started out with was the first workshop was about
the house.
It was how to get your first property, how to obtain your first property. That was an absolute great class. It came really with our ebook and over probably 2 hours of coaching. Yeah. If you missed it, the replay is available. But also on the 27th of this month, we're going over the assessment. How do you make sure you're picking the right person? How to choose the right avatar? Good. What questions are we asking?
And why?
What are we looking for in these questions,
Don't forget even the why.
Right? And the why.
Yeah.
And Shay, maybe, and some people hate it when I say it like this, but how do we avoid the knucklehead?
Wait,
right? I always pray that God gives you guys the right client, because there's somebody crying every night for a nice, clean place to live, and they want to do the right thing. But there's also a lot of people that want to move into your place and mistreat you, use drugs and alcohol, not pay rent, right? Destroy property. That's the guys that I don't want none of y'all to get, right? And that's why the assessment is so important, because if you don't ask the right questions, you may miss it. And guess who understands this better than anybody else almost? Me. Because I did it the wrong way, guys, for so long until we got it just right. So we're actually going to give you guys the actual assessment that we use.
Yes.
So not just general questions, but the exact assessment that we use. Again, if I'm wrong, Shay, you tell me, but I think that's the 27th of this month, which is a Tuesday, 7 p.m., and is only $97. So don't miss it. It comes with the actual assessment. Physically, we're going to give it to you right through a PDF or download, however that happens.
I don't know how.
And we're going to go line for line in terms of what are all those questions and how to conduct that proper assessment.
And how, okay, so Derek, I think a lot of people think that, asking questions, assessing somebody, what people are going to walk away with for this is the how, the reasoning behind the why we do it, how we do it, what we're looking for, and what to be leery of, right? As you're doing these assessments. What are the things that you need to listen for? What are the things that will help guide your decision on making sure that this person is the right fit for you? So I think that's what I'm excited most about, is that we really get to dive in deep.
Absolutely.
We get to take a deep dive on the
line
process.
For line. Like, no, just kind of paraphrasing. Like, I'm literally going to go line for line and give you guys, I guess the proper word may be the intel or the psyche intel. Why are we asking certain questions? Certain questions just sound normal, but you guys are going to see, why did I ask that? And what am I looking for in the answer? Or am I looking to educate him on something? Right. So I'm really, really interested in that, because, again, we take a lot of strategy calls every week. And a lot of people either are upset because they're getting the wrong people, and now you got to go through the eviction process and or you just don't know how to choose, right? You're confused about who you're serving. So we're going to talk about all of that, because some people, like in that Airbnb space, that they call it the right avatar.
Right.
You can call it whatever you want, resident, avatar. We call it how to conduct a proper assessment to make sure that we're serving the right person.
I'm sorry, I just yawned real big.
Y'all, hey, we had a long day, so we're going to try to keep this thing alive. So before I go any further, anybody that's new to us, just type the word new. And also, you can text the word new to that phone number that's scrolling below. Because if there's nobody new, I'm going to keep this super casual. But if there's anybody new and you got some specific questions, we will go into some teaching. Other than that, Shay and I are beat today. We're going to spend a little bit more time here with you guys, and we probably going to get out of here earlier than usual. I'm going to see if I can get Shay to feed me something tonight, because I'm starving. Our mom fed us this morning. And what time?
It was a lot.
And we have 8 cents. I think Mom fed us.
I just had 3 pieces of watermelon, little cubes of watermelon.
I think I had a piece of watermelon too, but in terms of food, we had like 8 o'clock this morning. But y'all know how we are. We're super consistent, and we'll let almost nothing stop us from going live. Because if I do nothing but tell you that we run independent living facilities and it don't require a license, you don't have to own the property,
nope,
and you don't have to pretend to be a nurse. Right, that should be the cheat code for a lot of y'all already, because a lot of y'all were just like me many years ago as a social worker, and thought I had to buy the place, get a license, and all of that. Yep. And God allowed me to see a lady that was making $41,000 a month, housing people in rats and roaches. Yeah. So when I saw that and found out that she didn't own the property and neither did she have a license, I was like, oh, so this is the thing. Well, first of all, we're not going to do it in rats and roaches. And you can rent and lease these houses? Y'all, that was the absolute cheat code for me.
Derek, so you know what else?
Last time, Shay, real quick. Nobody knew? Because if not, Shay and I just kind of chop it up. Shay, go ahead.
All right. So even another thing that I like that people ask us now, one of the biggest questions we get asked a lot about not just licensing, but they also ask, do I have to be a nonprofit?
Right. Yep.
A lot of people don't realize that you can do this from a for-profit entity as well as a nonprofit entity. Nothing literally looks any different. My processes are exactly the same as Derek's processes. My intake or my assessment looks exactly like yours. Monthly rent, pickups, how they get paid are the same, but I do have some added extras, right? I can have a sponsored bed. I can have a sponsored room. I can have things like that based on sponsorship.
You get $10,000 checks that I don't.
It's called a grant, sir. Don't be jealous. Just be next. But yeah, so there's certain things that I can do that you can't do. And that's more so when it comes to soliciting. Like you can't go out and campaign for money, like for funds. Like prime example, I can. Right, I can say, hey guys, the Angela Denise Foundation is having a silent auction on such and such a date. Come on in, join us, blah, 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 blah. Or, well, you can't do that. You have to get proper permissions from the IRS actually in order to do something like that. So there's a lot of different things that I can do.
Because I'm just an LLC, guys. Like most of y'all probably will start. And then if you hadn't noticed, Shay is a 501c3 nonprofit. Yes. So, and Shay, what's the name of your nonprofit?
The Angela Denise Foundation.
All right. And where can they find you?
They can find me on all social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. And yeah, just follow us at the Angela Denise Foundation. You'll see a beautiful picture of my mom's silhouette as the logo. Actually, pull that laptop up and give them a little screen. It's on my laptop too. We got the logo on my laptop. You forgot? I'm fancy. Can they see that through the camera? We're going to see. If they can see, that is the logo, guys. It's a little.
And what's the name of that, like shimmery stuff? So
that is my. It's showing that way because it is it is what you call it. It's holographic. It's holographic, and I did it with my own Cricut, y'all. So I'm a little fancy. But yeah, everything is branded the Angela Denise Foundation. So if you see that logo, go ahead and click like, subscribe, get to know us, get to know our vision, our mission, what we're doing, how we're helping individuals. Took lots of footage today. So that stuff I'll be sending to my VA Latrell tomorrow for him to create some content with, seeing what we did, how we did it. And y'all will get to see it too if you visit over that spot.
Questions about someone asked a question about VAs. So we'll take a break real quick and we'll come back, Shay, and you can tell them who Latrell is and how that works.
You got it.
If you've ever imagined of starting your own housing program, there is no reason that after we're done here tonight that you shouldn't go to forstonconsultants.com/webinars and watch the webinar, guys, because a lot of you have wanted to start a group home or traditional assisted living facility, but that stuff takes license. It takes a lot of time to open. There's a lot of red tape to jump through. You have to ask for permission. We teach you guys how to open an ILF, an independent living facility, where you can house the homeless, displaced adults, or anybody that has a guaranteed income, and it doesn't require a license, and you don't have to own the property. Make sure you watch that free webinar at forstonconsultants.com/webinars, and then set up a free strategy call so that me and my team can get you started. Let's get back to the show.
We're back.
All right, so let's jump back into it. I'm gonna bring up something because there was a question about virtual assistants, and I'll be honest, that's kind of what makes Shay and I really good at what we do. Shay and I are involved in a lot, right? And a lot of you guys know that we own a lot of different businesses. Just started a new one that I haven't even kind of told the public yet.
Don't tell them yet.
It's finalized now,
but
so
don't
I can kind of say it. But
tomorrow we'll talk about
maybe
that tomorrow.
Not even tomorrow.
Not even tomorrow.
Maybe not tomorrow. But just know that there is a new business that was started. And but besides that, what makes Shay and I really great, guys, you know, the order of what makes us great is God first, virtual assistants, and this is what you see on the screen. Softwares and systems, and we use digitalflowsolutions.net. Again, digitalflowsolutions.net. And then the proper assessment to make sure that we're serving the right avatar. Remember, I just talked about that 4 minutes ago. So again, really slowly, what makes Shay and I really successful, because remember, we take no credit. Notice I didn't say Shay or Derek in that whole scenario. God first, virtual assistants, software and systems, and the correct and right assessment to make sure that we're serving the right people, guys. Because if you do that, it's hard to lose in this game, right? So right here, and every time I say this, I always go way over, but I'm gonna try to go by this really fast.
You better.
But before we get super deep, I'm also going to show you guys. I'm gonna put it in the chat right now. We use www.va101.co. Again, that's va101.co. This is where we get all of our VAs from, and Tara built the whole thing. So Tara is our executive administrator. Tara runs everything that we do. She's the boss. In fact, 95% of the time, we don't call her Tara. When you guys hear us talk about her, we say Tara, but we call her
boss
most of the time. Tara's also in charge of all of the VAs that you're getting ready to see. And Tara is also over all 9 businesses that we have now. And Tara gave us the advice to get rid of one of them. So we still essentially have 8. So,
go keep going.
Okay, cool.
Sorry.
So, again, Tara's the absolute boss over everything that we do. Jess is my program manager. So, Jess runs Second Chance Housing. So, many years ago, God and I built Second Chance Housing. But 17 months ago, Jess was now made my program manager. So, Jess answers the phone, builds all the relationships in the community, sets up my appointments to go all of these hospitals and talk about who we are and what we do. Jess is in control of my schedule. So most of y'all, if you've ever spoken to me, you probably went through Jess. And again, Alex is a part of digitalflowsolutions.net that we talked about earlier.
Right.
So Alex is a big part of the back end to a lot of things that we do, right? So your website, prime example, when anybody purchases our coaching package, we actually build your website and give you a CRM system complimentary. We also give you a virtual assistant complimentary. So a lot of even what a lot of what I'm even talking about tonight, it's involved in our coaching. And lucky for you all, a lot of you all are just like me. You guys are not very techy. You probably can't build your own website. We know that. We're great coaches, and that's why we actually give it to you. And Alex and Mr. Danish right here, they're a big part of that, because Danish is actually a developer.
Yes.
So anything in terms of automations, workflows, and things that you need your website to do while you're sleeping in bed at night, and you need your website to do things automatically, that's what Danish is great at. April does a lot of social media for us and other people.
Correct.
That's the cheat code to these VAs, because when y'all get y'all VA from va101.co, don't just use the VA for yourself. Find at least 5 to 10 other people that's already in your cell phone that need logos and websites and ebooks and social media management and flyers and baby shower campaigns. all of that stuff, and to
Yeah.
monitor your email and answer your phone. You should be offering your VA to other people and also make money from it. So
Exactly.
these
Yeah.
VAs allow you guys to make passive income. Why you think we got so many of them, y'all? Not because I'm just trying to be cocky and all that. It's because they help us in our businesses, but they also help us with other people.
Correct.
Right? So again, April don't only just work for us. She works for multiple people, and we also benefit from it, and so does April.
Yeah.
Hannah does the same thing. Hannah works for a restaurant. She works for housing programs. She works for us. Shay's brother in Bermuda. Like, I can go on and on and on, guys, of how you should get a VA. And remember, if you forget everything else, remember that Derek said, when I get my own VA, find other people that also need services. Derek said, don't be selfish and use the VA for myself.
Right.
Because if I allow other people to also use my VA, I'll now have a business and a company, and we make money from it. Can you imagine doing social media management for 5 of your friends? Just 5.
Yeah.
Never mind 10 and 20, 5, and you charging them all $297 a month, $127 a month. You got 5 people doing that, and your VA is doing all the work. Because remember, you at your 9-to-5 job.
Exactly. That's a whole business.
And Latrell, I'm gonna let Shay introduce Trail.
Ladies,
you'll answer any questions, and we're
gentlemen,
probably gonna get out of here after that.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I would like to personally introduce you to the one, the only, the
so
man,
formal.
the myth, the legend,
He is a legend.
Latrell, who is my amazing virtual assistant at the Angela Denise Foundation, who is the grant sourcing specialist, the grant writing specialist, and he is just amazing. Like, honestly, Latrell has been a breath of fresh air.
Yeah.
When it comes to keeping me, for one, on task and on target with everything goal oriented for the Angela Denise Foundation. Not only that, Latrell is very consistent in the way he delivers the message and the messaging for the Angela Denise Foundation. Like, if y'all look at my social media, that is all Latrell. I give no input, no insight. Some days I may say, hey, can we look at adding something else, or I want to do this campaign. He may, jump on that campaign and start building it out. But for the most part, Latrell does everything you see. Latrell allows me to be the hands and feet of the Angela Denise. Yeah.
Too.
He allows me to be the Angela Denise Foundation, the hands and feet, the one that's out there in the field, the operations, while he focuses on making sure that we have, consistent messaging going out. He makes sure that we have consistent outreach being done. We're talking about adding a blog, Derek, to the Angela Denise Foundation's website this in a couple of weeks, preferably a month, to pretty much start just giving more information, getting more information out there about who we are, what we do, why we do what we do, and how we're able to help everybody, how we're able to help all of those that we help. So Latrell is honestly,
did he also apply and get that grant for you?
Yes, I was getting ready to say that. He is the one that found the grant at First Horizons Bank. I had no clue who First Horizons Bank was, where it was located, and literally he helped. We created the program itself. The program is actually what is functioning now, but Latrell literally helped document it in a way in which other organizations or even the grantors were able to say, hey, I want to partner with this said program. Okay. So yeah, that's what's happening. And Latrell, he's the one that connected us with the First Horizons. I was going to call it something else. A foundation, and that's how we were able to get blessed with $10,000 in resources for the Angela Denise Foundation. So again, you've got a great VA, helps bring a lot of great outcomes, and again, just get the message out where I don't have the time to facilitate that. So that's what Latrell does for me.
Absolutely. So guys, again, any questions about virtual assistants, let us know. And again, guys, I'll just be super honest. That's what makes Shay and I so great. God first, virtual assistants, software and systems, which is again digitalflowsolutions.net. And again, doing the proper assessment to make sure that we're serving the right avatar. And again, Shay, if we don't have that much more.
I want to share one thing.
Okay, I'm going to say,
I think because I know they keep seeing us look down at our phones, and I'd like to tell them why we're looking down at our phones, right? You heard me specify or state earlier today about an emergency placement. So we've been able to partner with another organization that's very near and dear to our heart. We got a phone call this morning about someone needing urgent placement, very urgent placement. So we were actually facilitating that along with everything else that we were doing today. And I'm looking down at my phone because this individual was being transported from another location, another city, and has just made it to Orlando. So even after this, I don't know if you want to go by. And so we're going to go and
so a lot of times
meet up.
we talk about guys being the stepping stone for where somebody's going.
Yeah.
Right. This is why also, because again, don't forget what the title is. Now, we talked all casual, but guys, the title says, why the ILF model? Today is a prime example of that.
Oh, that's so good.
Even besides the refurbishing of all of these great appliances that were now just donated to the Angela Denise Foundation. But what's happening right now, and like Shay said, we want to be super respectful about this moment, but this is an organization that called us, and I'll just be quite frank with all of y'all because we're family and I ain't gonna sugarcoat this. This is the fight to save somebody's life.
Yeah.
And if you're called on, remember what we call this, if you're called on.
Yes.
God is partnering with you to do his will. This has nothing to do with Shay and I.
Nothing to do with us.
But you know what's so powerful though? How great does it feel that God chose us to be a part of this plan?
Yeah.
So we've been praying all day for this individual because we truly believe that the short amount of time that's been asked of us to do this, it's going to translate to the day that we look back and say, boy, you know what? August, what was this, 19th or 20th, 19th, that was the day that everything changed for this individual and God used you and I, Shay.
Yeah.
So we appreciate that when we look back and say, boy, God, you are so good. Because we got a prayer that's always sounding something like this. God, use me any way that you see fit. God, there is people already out there that you have already ordained for us to help.
Yeah.
And some of them going to stay with us a long time. Some of them just going to be the stepping stone to where they're going. And today is a great example of that. This is not going to be a long placement, guys.
And the powerful thing about this, Derek, is again, like if you think about most other housing processes, right? I got on the phone today and I talked with two young ladies that have the AAPD housing, and their process looks different. They don't just get a phone call on Monday and then take in a resident on Tuesday. It's a long drawn out operation. Like the process is long. With us, we're able to receive the call. We're able to hear the need, make a decision urgently and immediately. Like this
group
took
homes
place.
Don't work like that.
Right.
ALFs don't work like that.
Even
you
close.
Can't call an ALF today and get placed today.
No, you can't.
Call me a liar if you do anything different.
We just, like I said, we had the conversation at what time today? I think the communication trail literally started.
Well, actually it started this morning.
Right.
But the solidification of it, that's a word, that happened just mere hours ago.
I'm just actually looking back because I want to see.
Because this morning it was more of a thought, and this is what we
at around 3 o'clock. So here it is.
Not long ago, like Shay just said,
right,
3 o'clock. It was,
is
all right, guys, like here it is.
Here it is. This is what we're going to do. This is going to be the outcome, and we're going to get this individual to Orlando. And I'm literally getting the text messages on my cell phone. The individual has made it to Orlando. Glory be to God that they've arrived safely. And the goal is for us to go, and speak and introduce.
Absolutely. And if you're a believer, you don't even have to know this guy. If you care about us, y'all pray that this works. Because again, as I said, I'm not saying this lightly or just to add extra flame. This is a fight for somebody's life.
Yeah.
And a lot of times, guys, it starts with housing. How many people you know that would just be better off if they could get housing right? And guys, for this short amount of time, for what the future plan is, again, God is using us, and we're super grateful for that. So I recommend that you guys also take on that prayer. God, use me any way that you see fit. But God, also, man, I like what Derek them doing, man. God, use me with this real estate too.
Yeah.
God, Derek them using real estate to do your will. Like, God, can you put me in that? Because again, guys, like if you're new to us, and I do see one person, TLD 970, you're new to us, so you have no clue that many years ago, God showed me a lady making 41 grand a month, housing people with this model that we're explaining to you right now. And I'll break up a few pictures before we leave. But the gist of it is that I always thought I had to like have this traditional group home or an ALF,
yeah,
which takes a long time to open,
to get up and
jump through
operational,
all this red
all
tape
of this,
and,
like it's a lot.
like, guys, did y'all hear what we said? We took a call today and we gonna house the guy today.
Now, like,
Right,
literally.
you can't do that in a traditional group home or an ALF. There's a lot of people you got to talk to before that decision is made.
Yes, yes.
So again, the title says, why the ILF model? Because I can change somebody's life right
immediately,
now, immediately, without the need to ask my state, hey, state, can I get permission to house all these homeless people in my city? Put a number 7 in the chat if it burns your blood that when you see homeless people and they make you jump through all of these hoops to do it. That's why this ILF model, guys, is so genius.
It is.
Because remember, we're housing independent adults that can live and thrive without the need for staff and or medical oversight.
Yeah.
So the lady that's new or sir that's new, I don't know. But God showed me a lady that was making 41 grand. I'm gonna say that again twice. And notice that if you hang around us long enough, we don't talk about money a lot because money follows ministry. Money is just a part of what this is, and you can make a bunch of it doing it.
Right.
And you're doing God's will, but I'll be that gummit if we gonna mistreat people doing it. Exactly. I saw a lady making 41 grand a month wearing Gucci and Prada and red bottom shoes. Why would you do that? Making that new person, put in the chat, I feel you, Derek, if you feel what I'm saying right now, because everybody else seems to be family here. So if you're the only one new, yes, God just showed me somebody doing this the wrong way. All we did was got into it and put our own spin on it, and we trademarked independent living facility.
Yeah.
But like my teaching gonna tell you, I don't care what you call it. You can call it shared living, co-housing, communal living. What? Put your own name on it, like Katara did it, and it's 311 Solutions. Whatever. I created Second Chance Housing. She created
the Angela Denise Foundation.
So call it what you want, but just know that we serve an individual, not a family, not a pregnant lady with 3 kids, but the individual that can live and thrive without the need for me giving him medication. That's a no-no. For me driving him around, that's a no-no.
Yeah.
And for me to be trying to chef up and cook his food. If you're taking notes tonight, those are the 3 things that get most people in trouble when they try to do this.
Always.
So they're trying to be a nurse and give out meds. We don't do that. The I in ILF for us stands for what, Shay?
Independent.
Independent. So why am I giving somebody independent their meds? He don't need me to give him his
You don't
meds.
have no business doing so.
Shay, I have no business doing
none
that.
whatsoever. And this is where people kind of, that's where they kind of teeter the fence on that line of uncertainty, right? You're not supposed to do anything that is required licensing. Like prime example, a nurse. If you go to any type of care facility, nurses or LPNs are the ones that are allowed to hand out meds, right? So if you think of it from that perspective, anything that a nurse who is licensed, who is registered, who has documentation behind their name that they do, if you're trying to implement that in what you do, you're already out of line. You're out of line.
Boy, and that's coming from somebody that's running a nonprofit. I run an LLC. Do you hear any difference in how we run this, Charmaine? Charmaine from Canton, Ohio. Do you hear any difference in how Shay and I are running this?
Nope.
So again, for the family that asked, I think that was the Bills family, BILL, right? Bills S family. You guys asked, was it any difference between the nonprofit and for-profit? You and how we run it? No. Our rules are the same and everything, right? We serve independent adults. Shay can't house a lady, guys, that can't feed herself and can't do her ADLs, as you guys would call it in a group home or an ALF.
Nope.
They got to be able to bathe themselves, right, Shay?
Absolutely.
Shower themselves, right, Shay?
Absolutely.
Right. So, and Shay, like, here's something that's different too, because the Bills family also asks this: do your guys drive? Now, watch me and Shay both answer this. None of my guys have a car. I house a lot of guys and none of them have a car. Shay, how many people in one house do you have that have a vehicle? She got to count them.
1, 2, 3, 4. It's 4 vehicles.
And guys, I'm not used to this.
Me neither.
Right? Now, Shay, I've been doing this for a while before we pulled from corporate America.
I think I have 4 cars.
Shay's got 4 cars and got somebody coming.
A possibility of 1 more.
So, and thank God for Shay, guys. If you never saw her facility, she's got a long driveway. Go be nosy at the Angela Denise Foundation. my page, befriend me on Facebook. We want you guys to see what we're doing and talking about. So for that new person, your first instruction actually is to kind of do what you see scrolling at the bottom of that screen.
I think they did text new because I did see that.
But no, text more info, because that's going to give them that webinar and then the phone call with me. And then we're going to talk about how to get you started in your area. I'm not sure what's happening in North Carolina, South Carolina, and certain parts of Georgia. We're getting a lot of calls, especially from North Carolina. So I'm not sure if it's because I'm in certain groups, but you guys are really hungry and you're thirsty, and I love it. And you guys are new to us, and welcome to the family now. A lot of y'all have been saying that you didn't know that there was such a model as this. So that really delights me to hear that you guys didn't know that you could do this without a license and that you could rent or lease the property. We're going to take a commercial break, guys, and we're going to be right back.
If you've ever imagined of starting your own housing program, there is no reason that after we're done here tonight that you shouldn't go to forstonconsultants.com/webinars and watch the webinar, guys, because a lot of you have wanted to start a group home or traditional assisted living facility, but that stuff takes license. It takes a lot of time to open. There's a lot of red tape to jump through. You have to ask for permission. We teach you guys how to open an ILF, an independent living facility, where you can house the homeless, displaced adults, or anybody that has a guaranteed income, and it doesn't require a license, and you don't have to own the property. Make sure you watch that free webinar at forstonconsultants.com/webinars, and then set up a free strategy call so that me and my team can get you started. Let's get back to the show.
Let's get
all right, we're back. So I'm gonna check the chat, Shay, for any questions. And also for my new person, put in the chat so far. I know that you're new to us, but put in the chat so far if you understand this concept in terms of what we're doing. Some people get it, some people don't. And I think I do a pretty good job of breaking it down. But if I don't, you let me know, because I never let somebody new come to us and not leave with the understanding that these are similar to group homes, but they're not. In fact, I'm gonna pull up a few pictures now. I can go out and rent or lease a 4-bed, 2-bath home. And again, I don't have to own it.
Correct.
Right? And I can lease it. I can rent it. Man, that was such a relief to me as a poor social worker making 28 grand a year.
Yeah.
So again, in June, we had this whole event by the name of From Idea to Implementation.
That was
because a lot of you guys have the idea to do this, but you have no clue what route to go, how to implement it. Shay had an hour strategy call today on the phone as we're driving the U-Haul with somebody that was, they're in this ALF game on the license side, but they want to get on this side. And then they approach Shay about teaching it and all that. But they were trying to figure out how could they do both. Now, Francesca Dawson, who's been taught by us, she does both. Got into this in less than 90 days and got over 3 houses. Got into the APD model, which requires a license, and it took 3 years.
Yeah.
Now, she loves them both, but she'll tell you guys right now, there is nothing like that ILF model, because, again, you can start right now as you build that other dream that you got in your head. Francesca, in fact, and I've never said this, but it was very smart to do that. Because some of y'all still saying, well, Derek, man, I want a license place.
Yeah.
No problem. Why not start the ILF right now, get some income going, start helping in the community, get known by people, as you're building the other program that's going to take you much longer anyway.
Yeah, you got to figure out
Francesca,
how you,
if you're watching this, you're a genius. I've never said that, but you were smart enough to go the quicker route, which is what now a lot of people call the right now model, the ILF model. And then you decided to go the APD route.
To expand,
and if you don't know what that is, that's called Agency for Persons with Disabilities. You must have a license.
Absolutely.
Right? A lot of paperwork. And even to this day, even that she's up and running every day, lots of paperwork. So again, the ILF model is completely different. And if my new person can just tell me that they fully get that, that'll make me happy. Other than that, Shay, it's on you for a question.
Yeah. So the question is from, is it Tia?
Tay.
Tay. I said Tay.
Tay's family. That's the same Tay that's always been around us.
Tell Tay.
Tay, is that you, Tay?
Tay, it says.
Hey, Tay, because lately we didn't have like 7 Tiffany's join the Forston Consultants family. So I'm having to store the Tiffany's in by where they live at now. So big shout out to Tiffany from Jacksonville if she's on here.
We got Tiffany.
She's got a lot of big things going on in the nonprofit sector, and she'll tell you guys about that later. But Tay, if that's you, let us know. Shay?
All right. So it says, I love how y'all operate. I know y'all say boots on the ground for your ILFs, But do you think VAs could fill in the gap as property management until you get a property manager
Ooh,
that
can I
is
go first?
actually local? Go
Can
for
I
it.
go first, Tay?
Yes.
Tay, it's funny that, yeah, she's a Hay family. That's Tay. Tay is a
Hello.
masterclass member and all that stuff. So Tay been around us a long time. Good to see you, Tay. So I'm gonna answer that, Tay, in two ways. About a year ago, we were searching for a property manager in Georgia because Shay and I own property in Georgia as well, Warner Robins specifically.
Yeah.
And I hit up this one place, and I noticed how they were kind of talking to me, and then they sent this picture of the profile. And I was like, this lady looks Filipino. I was like, there is no way that they got VAs doing this now. And sure enough, Tay, a lot of people now are running a property management company from a virtual assistant standpoint. But also, I'm gonna even word it like this too, Tay. Guess what Jess does for me every day, all day?
Property
She's
management.
still doing property management. Jess knows my census. We've tied her into the the maintenance thing. So my guys really don't call me for leaky faucets. They call Jess. Jess puts in the work order.
Any issues
through American Home Shield. Right. So Shay, I'm gonna let you hop in now.
So what we've been doing is implementing the virtual assistant as that property management piece, right? What does that look like? I'm gonna give you a brief overview of what it looks like. Again, they're answering all of the calls. We don't have time to monitor those calls as stringently as we do because of coaching, and honestly helping other people build out their brand. So what we do now is that phone goes to Jess. Jess is very versed on conducting assessments. She knows how to assess her behind off. And when she finds a good fit, she's able to place that individual. If that person is not a good fit, she then becomes our HRA, so our housing referral agent, or agency that's now connected with other ILF operators. And she says, okay, here you go. I have a referral for you. Based on, maybe we may be full, or that client doesn't, that client is looking for a private room. We only have shared.
Right.
So it's like things like that, that you're going to take into perspective. Not only is that what she does, but again, like Derek said, she takes any maintenance request. She also does any invoicing that needs to be done, especially when new residents move in. She puts the move-in packet together and makes sure that they get it and they sign it.
Yep. Shay used to do that for me way back in the day, but now because Shay went by that so fast, I want you guys to understand how important that last piece Shay just said. When we move in a gentleman, no different from the guy tonight, guess who's already emailed what we call the move-in packet? Now, because I'm not very techie, I can't explain how all that happens. Yeah. Shay can do that. But guess what's a part of that move-in packet? Our lease agreement, which we don't really call a lease, and that's a part of our coaching. But anyway, the handbook, the rules, the signature page, and probably most important, our release of liability. Guys, that's all in an email.
Correct.
That's powerful, guys, that I no longer have to do that. Put a number 3 in the chat if you think that's cool that we got VAs that literally run our programs now. So again, guys, many years ago, 6-7 years ago, God and I built Second Chance Housing. But 17 months ago, I trained Jess to be me.
Yeah.
So I think it's genius how when Shay created that move-in packet and taught Jess, because Jess just don't wake up guys and know how to do this. You still got to train.
Yeah.
But once Shay trained and gave her the tool, which is the move-in packet, Miss Yvonne, that is genius that I don't have to be involved in that.
You sure
because Miss Yvonne, guess what I really want to do? I want to be in the community trying to save everybody else and the rest of these people. Exactly. And delivering washing machines and dryers for her ladies. Like, guys, that's what I dreamed of. I was working at a 9-to-5 job behind a desk.
Yeah.
Right? So I really mean that, Shay.
No, and another thing you were saying about the virtual assistants, right? Having the virtual assistants is a great asset to your ILF. It cannot be the foundational or final piece to your ILF. Your ILF will still require some presence. You want to make sure that you go, like prime example, we were at the house today.
Yep.
People are not like we are, right? They may not clean the way you like them to clean. No. They may, do things a little differently than you are. And being able to go over and put eyes on the individuals that you're housing, let them see that you're engaged. Let them know that you are there for them. So I want people to realize that although this is independent living, I'm not saying you have to be on these people's back every day, but you have to have presence. If you do not have presence, you will automatically lose control of your ILF. So just know that. Oh, that's Questa.
Oh, that's Questa.
Hey, Questa.
QD. What's going on, QD?
This guy always making up a nickname.
Questa on the spot. And hey, speaking of Questa, you guys have no clue who she is right now, but we're going to introduce
y'all will meet them.
Questa and Francesca. Ooh, that rhymes, don't it?
Questa and Francesca. Do a rap song, make rap song.
You guys already know Francesca, but you guys are going to meet Questa, and we'll break that down later on what that means.
They'll be live here. They're gonna be live here with us on one of our cozy coaching.
They don't know it yet,
sessions.
but we talked about that. But yeah, good to see you, Questa.
So Questa, we throwing you on the couch, not under the bus. We're gonna throw one on the couch.
Now, Questa, we didn't name it this, but our lovely listeners named this setting when we went from just behind a computer screen. They named this cozy coaching.
Yeah.
So Questa, let us know in the chat if you like that. But anyway, back on Shay, because as y'all see, I jump in front of Shay all the time, and she do me too. But we're casual tonight. We're super tired. So if we're acting a little goofy, no problem. But again, guys, we thank y'all so much for being here. We appreciate all the questions. Keep them coming.
Yeah.
Tay says good point. She says, if they don't see an active and present, there you go, Tay, because that's what I was about to go with that.
Very true.
But notice how Tay laid out when I know y'all normally say boots on the ground. See, Tay is a masterclass alumni. So Tay knows that.
So she knows the whole
Tay just trying to find a ride and see how can she do it. But Tay, I'm going to tell you, just depends on, what does the rest of that setting look like in terms of who is the boots on the ground? Because Tay, where are you located and where are you doing this at, where we're trying to put a VA kind of over it?
Yeah.
Right? How far are you from that place? So Tay know better. So I like how she phrased that question.
And again, I'm gonna always say, and Tay, you said it, oversight. Although it is independent, you want to maintain your model, the integrity of your model, right? If you do not maintain the integrity of your ILF model, you can forget about it. Like if you are not an avid visitor, if you are not somebody that has, what we say you need.
My guys, they telling me, man, you never call when you come in. Warn us sometimes. No, I'm just popping up.
Like even today.
What's going on here? Everybody good? Like today.
Today was funny.
Go ahead.
So we pull up with a U-Haul, right? One of our residents is on the front porch.
He's looking like,
and he's like,
uh-oh.
What is going on? He sees Derek hop out of this U-Haul and he's like, is everything okay? And we're like, yeah, everything's cool. He was so nervous. But this is but think about it, Derek, from a perspective of a resident, right? They're in a home, they're paying their rent, they're doing everything that they need to do, but they don't know what's going on with the owner or the operator of that ILF, and somebody shows up in a U-Haul. What's the first thing, like if he's watching history repeat itself, can you imagine what the first thought?
I've been through that. Yeah. Like, man, we finna get ready to get kicked out. He had this look at his face like, man, but by the time he saw my face, he was like, oh, but he still had that curious look like, okay, what's happening? On?
Yeah.
He's got no clue that we spent all day moving stuff. Yeah. Right. So, but anyway, when we walked in, and watch how honest we are, right? Because any of y'all know me. Y'all know that we don't put up with the dirt, the grime, the nastiness. Now, trust me, these guys are gonna be guys.
Right. It's not.
It ain't gonna always be lickety split where you can eat off the floor. Prime example today. It wasn't nasty. It wasn't dirty, but it wasn't quite to my liking.
Prime example.
So sometimes
let's give him an example.
Go ahead, Shay.
Let's give him an example. So like the floor. You can tell the floor ain't been swept in about 2 weeks because everybody walks in and out. So it's little dirt, nothing crazy.
And even though we bought them this $200 vacuum, that's got all of these pieces and tools, and I'll admit, even when I go, I still use the broom. So today, guess who spent 15 minutes sweeping up real quick, mopping up real quick, and just tighten up certain things as I'm still having a house meeting with all of them out loud and getting them to also pitch in and help me.
Yeah.
Now, sometimes I'll admit, I'll go in and just have them kind of come out and watch me clean up. I don't ask for no help.
Right.
Because I want to show them sometimes that I'll get in here and get in the mud too.
Yeah.
But as I'm doing it, I'm saying, hey guys, I don't live here. Y'all do. I bought y'all the utensils and the chemicals to make sure that this place stay clean. Now, guys, it ain't bad today. But we
and
can
it
tighten up a
wasn't.
little
Yeah,
bit in
it
here.
sure weren't. It was just,
And guys,
again,
for most people, it wasn't bad at all. But we just try to keep the standard so high that even if we do slip, it's just kind of normal. But if you know my original story, we will not have people living in rats and roaches and things like I'm getting ready to show you on the screen now.
Yeah.
I walked into places like this where the kitchen was halfway burnt down, the beds were on the floor, no bed rails, no comforter, no sheets. Guys, we don't do that. Absolutely. You got guys' beds sitting on cinder blocks. So again, for my new people, if this don't blow your mind and don't break your heart, you in the wrong place. Because again, we teach if you love God, love people, and love real estate, this is how you mesh them all together.
You do right by
people. Shane, you can't make all of this money and mistreat God's people like this.
You cannot.
These are God's people, y'all. And my brother used to always say this, and one day we're going to be held accountable for how we treated them.
We will be.
And I'll be that gummed, and that's a real country word, that if you're going to make 40, y'all, ladies and gentlemen, this lady showed me 41 grand a month in her phone, in her Chase Bank app. I'm not telling y'all something she told me. Guys, she showed me.
Yeah.
And you're going to put somebody on cinder blocks? The bed is on the ground, Shay, with no bed rails? Why the fan got to be sitting on boxes and not a regular, like, dresser or something? Like, guys, like, are you serious?
And see, what people don't even realize.
This is not what we do.
What people don't even realize is that's where the roaches come from. You know how I am about corrugated
boxes,
corrugated cardboard boxes.
Y'all,
if y'all want roach infestation, have a whole bunch of corrugated cardboard boxes in your house.
Miss Yvonne said, I got a bunch of houses and I would love to do this model. Miss Yvonne, welcome. Thank you so much for being here. We appreciate it. We just real lax today. And Miss Yvonne, if you notice, we just treat y'all like family. So Shay and I are very tired. I'm usually probably, and she probably said, man, he is energetic. But I'm actually usually more energetic than this. Yes. Shay been working me since 7:30 this morning, y'all. and I love it. Don't get it twisted. I'm just drained today. But anyway, if you're new to us, make sure you follow that instruction that's scrolling below. That'll get you our instant webinar and also an opportunity to get on the phone with Shay and I.
Yeah, let's have a conversation.
Talk about doing this, because if you have the houses, I'll admit, you're 50% further than probably most people I'll ever teach this to, right? Most people don't come to us and have the real estate already.
Yep.
So, and this is not just for Miss Yvonne, but if I can get 5 of y'all to just answer this question real quick. Do y'all love God? Do you genuinely love people? And do you love, or are you trying to get into real estate?
Yeah.
And would you love to mesh all of those together to do God's will to help people?
Absolutely.
Can I get 5 or 6 of y'all to just put yes in the chat? Just type the word yes, right? Because literally that's all this is, guys. This is social services, the love of God, and real estate all mixed into one. So after we saw all of this bad stuff, this is kind of what it looks like now.
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna let Shay introduce this particular house because I got no business even talking right here. Shay,
so I told y'all,
tell them what this is.
This is the Maryland, which is where my ladies are housed. This is post reno and rehab. That is a beautiful house, Derek. Jeez, that house looks good.
We need to put the before pictures up on this slide too, because the before pictures was an absolute mess.
The roof was hanging and dangling at the top. Like it was bad,
from top to bottom. In this place.
But this is the Maryland, and as you see, this is there. I think when we took this picture, we were halfway in the driveway. So just think about how long this driveway
is really long,
and being able to house many people. But this is our model. That Maryland is where all of my ladies are, and they are amazing. They are, listen, I love them chicks. They are amazing. They are a riot. And they are just a blessing to me, and being able to serve them and provide them with home, access to clean, safe, affordable living is just a blessing.
I got a question for you, Shay. Yes. I want to know, why did you decide to house women, and how and why did you get into buying this property when most people know it's for leasing or renting these places? But I want you to do that after this commercial break. We'll be right back.
Hey, what's going on, family? Are you somebody that needs some help in your life or your business? Are you somebody that has a lot of ideas, but you can't quite get them out? You probably need a virtual assistant, guys. And again, at $5 an hour, that's an absolute cheat code for you, your life, your family, and your business. Because oftentimes these virtual assistants, guys, can do a lot of what we can't. And they often come with a bachelor or a master's degree. So when it comes to the educational side of it, guys, these VAs are, again, the cheat code to everything that you're probably looking for. Most of you guys have a full-time job, so it's hard to kind of implement a lot of the ideas that God is giving you or the ideas that are in your heart. You should be visiting va101.co to get a virtual assistant that can help you in your life and your business and get some of these ideas out of your brain onto paper and then to implementation. One more time, visit va101.co, not .com, but va101.co, and get a virtual assistant, guys, for $5 an hour. It's the cheat code, and it'll be the best decision that you ever made. I promise.
All right. All right. So thank y'all so much again for being with us. We super appreciate you guys tolerating the shit and I just kind of joking around tonight. But again, especially for my new people, we want you guys to text the phrase more info to that phone number. And we want you guys to watch that small, short webinar. Again, it's going to change your life. It is actually 2 of them. So one is called the HRA. That was only 14 minutes long. And that teaches you how to be a housing referral agency to where you don't need a house. You don't have to buy one, rent one, or lease one. You can simply just make referrals to people and make referral fees, right? So if God is putting your heart to house, folks, right, do that. Don't make the excuse that you can't buy or rent a house. I got a lot of people that's on this live right now that implement the HRA model. And again, it's called Housing Referral Agency.
Correct.
The other webinar is about 50 minutes long, and that goes deep into what we're talking about tonight. Meaning you want to do this and you want to get your own house. You don't want to make referrals. Yeah. Maybe you do both, but you want to be like Miss Yvonne and get you a couple houses and do this now and start changing the lives of other people.
Absolutely.
But also start building generational wealth. Okay. And then for the Bills family that asks, what does the inside look like? For 90% of the people that I house, your story is different. But 90% of the people that I house, they're going to be in a room that looks like this.
Listen,
okay.
I'm going to say this real quick. None of my rooms, except for the master and the room that I'm getting ready to get, my last room that I will be filling, look anything similar to this.
Got it.
My ladies got fancy. My population is a little different.
Okay.
They're a little swanky danky.
Their rooms may look a little bit like this.
They got real fancy on me, D.
So notice again, shades from these 2 pictures. These are queen or full size beds.
So my ladies,
and it's one of them. It's not 2.
My ladies spruced up, set up,
my
and they
guys
are doing things.
Can't afford that, right. So they get this.
Yeah.
So when you guys get into this ILF model, you can also decide. Somebody like Miss Yvonne, who sounds like maybe she owns these properties, we teach and train and coach and consult people that actually own the property.
Right.
Maybe you don't have to do 2 people per room because the math has to make sense in this model.
And your math will be mathing if you're most likely is mathing.
So if you own the property, your overhead is probably a lot lower than what I would pay for something that I'm leasing or renting, especially when the nosy landlord knows what I do and want to charge me a little bit more because of it. So if you own the place, like Shay rehabbed and bought this place herself, Shay overhead is a lot lower than what I would even charge her to rent this place from me. Does that make sense, everybody?
This price is a little steep.
So again, if Shay would rent this house, and I'm gonna go back to it because I want you guys, this was a 4-bed,
Say it again.
bath.
Say it was a what?
It was, according to my English teacher from the 2nd grade, that's past tense. So it used to be. Thank you, Miss Dunbar. I'll never forget her. But moving forward, guys, this is a 5-bed, 3-bath.
It is.
So with my model, if I would have took this house and this wouldn't have been the Angela Denise Foundation, I would have had 10 people in here, y'all. 10 guys that I would have took from homeless to hopeful because I'm doing 2 per room. Now, I'll be honest, I am falling in love with the model of maybe doing 2 rooms private and then the other one shared. But what Shay is running to a lot lately now is the working individual, the well-to-do person that don't want their own house, they don't want their own apartment, or maybe can't afford it right now and just moving through transition. And this is perfect because now they got their own suite.
Yeah.
So picture the Golden Girls. How many of y'all remember the TV show The Golden Girls?
They better.
Remember them 5, I think it was 5 rich women living together? This is the epitome of what Shay is doing right now, y'all. And I don't mean to be funny, but I'm being serious.
They're sweet.
Remember the Golden Girls?
Sweet. But they ain't
the sweetest women ever.
Old women.
No. That's the only difference. Well, no.
Don't do that.
Miss Anita.
Don't do that.
Miss Anita told me that we could say that.
Okay.
She's proud of her age.
Okay, I'm just saying that.
Everybody else is kind of, down in age. But back to the point, guys. The Golden Girls. That's what this house is for Shay. A bunch of women that get along together and some of the greatest women you would ever want to meet.
Prime example, it was
because if you met Shay's women in this house, you would say, God, can you give me 10 more houses with women just like this?
Yeah.
You don't want to go outside of what these women are because it's like, it's perfect.
It is.
Shay, go ahead.
So like prime example, it was a birthday on Sunday. I get a text message at about something after midnight. And thank God I turned my phone off because I would have really been aggravated if I saw this message thinking that something was wrong. And technically it was nothing wrong. Some of my ladies waited up until midnight to wish the other lady that's birthday it was a happy birthday. Yeah. And they put on a whole little they put on a whole little song and dance. They were listening to Stevie Wonder's Happy Birthday to You. The happy birthday, and they were just dancing, and one of the other ladies woke up out of her bed because she thought something was going on, and she was just it tickled her so, Derek, to where she was like, okay, well, can I put in my request for my birthday? And it was just amazing. But to see how those women get along, they have their days. Hear me when I say this.
Right, because
they have their days. Okay. Yep. But for the most time, it's a blessing to see how they get along and how they advocate for one another. Yeah. So that's another blessing about it too. So that is because of the assessment. Sheerly based on the assessment, knowing the population that I serve and not being in such a haste to fill my last room.
Yeah.
I have one room available and I can do two things. I can either do shared or single occupancy. But I'm really looking for another single occupancy in this particular home because of the model and the makeup of who's in this house.
And that's why the 27th of this month, guys, that's why we're having a workshop about the assessment, right? To make sure that we're getting the right person, that we're serving the right avatar.
Yeah.
So don't miss that workshop, guys. It's only $97 and we're giving you the assessment that we use. We're also giving you the intel and the psyche into what we're asking and why we're asking it. And what are we looking for in return from these answers? Because remember, my prayer for all of y'all, we laugh and we joke and we play, but my prayer for all of you all is that you guys always avoid the knucklehead. Yeah. I don't want you guys to get bad, crummy clients. I want you guys to get the kind of clients that are praying and begging God at night. Yeah. God, I want a safe place to live, a clean place to live. And I know somebody out there that can help me. God, give me a good landlord. And that's all of you all.
Yeah.
I don't want you guys to get people that are sneaking people through the window at night, running people in and out, using drugs and alcohol, not trying to pay your rent, and they missing on rent day all of a sudden. Man, miss me with that.
Yeah.
God, send me the good people that are praying and begging you to change their life. Because God, I want to be a part of that. Does that make sense, everybody? Two of y'all put a number 1 in the chat if that makes sense.
Well, let's answer these questions because we got to go check
that's
on your
on the screen says, I have a call to interview VAs on Wednesday. Congratulations. How can I get on a quick call with Derek? I have some questions about the VA being able to run. Well, lucky for you, Miss Peters, the VA is actually trained.
Right.
So remember, 17 months ago, I trained Jess to be me. Jess trains all of the VAs, especially if you put on your form that you want them to conduct and understand the HRA.
Yes.
Right. The other good thing, too, is that a lot of people, when they do get these VAs, and I think you just got a VA singularly, right, without a product, but the HRA, and in terms of what we do, we also tell people to give your VA the HRA product. I don't think she did. I don't think.
Oh, okay.
If I'm not, it's so many of y'all, but if I'm not mistaken, I think she got the VA that was on sale that time, just the VA alone.
Okay.
But what would have been genius is that if you would have bought the actual HRA, now you give that VA the whole course. That was the first way that I trained Jess. In fact, that was the question you asked me earlier. I trained Jess to be me 17 months ago. I said, Jess, God is finna bless us. We're finna get real busy. And Jess, I want to be the hero in my community and not spend 6 hours a day on the phone. So I literally called Jess back to back to back to back to back. I did this for probably 2 or 3 weeks.
It was rough.
And I talked to Jess and gave her every scenario that she would ever face. I gave her the scenario of the easy assessment, the guy that's going to be nice. He's going to answer all the questions. But I also did some really bad stuff to Jess. Like I hung up on her. I think I cussed her out a couple times in love. But I was mean to her. I yelled at her. Like I showed her every scenario that was possible.
Yeah.
And then now I threw her in the game. Because what other better way to learn than just throwing somebody in the game of it?
Yep.
And just now today answers every phone call that comes through Second Chance Housing.
With no issues.
And if somebody's not a good fit for us, we refer out. Or if they're pregnant with 8 kids, we give them a resource to somebody that can help them.
Correct.
Because we can't help that. Right?
Population.
So again, lucky for you, that VA comes trained in that. But I would implore you to absolutely get either, because now I think if I'm not losing it, my team is actually doing away with the HRA business in a box just by itself. That's a part of the DIY now. So the do-it-yourself version, that's a part of that. The HRA is not even really a long course. Product. And what's so cool, the DIY now is only $9.97.
What you say?
Right? So that used to be $24.97 with the revamping of everything that we did. And what's so cool, it's not even on our website like that yet. So if you want the DIY, which is literally my one-on-one coaching without me, right? So you get everything still, the VA, the website, the CRM system, all the paperwork, all the documents, all of me teaching you in a recorded format. You just don't get me as the coach. That's only $9.97.
Can they upgrade to like can they upgrade to the IMB?
Absolutely, they can.
Not the program, but is it possible? I just had a brain.
Because I thought you meant the IMB, because we've had people do
I just had an amazing idea. I'll talk with you offline.
Okay.
I'm not gonna do that on here. I don't want
even
anybody
if she's saying we've had people that bought the DIY. Was like, you know what? I thought I could do this on my own. Can I upgrade? Absolutely.
No, yes, but I'll talk to about the other thing.
And then we upgrade you to the IMB. So
I'm talking about inserting a trusty bot somewhere and giving somebody an upgrade.
Let me say, she said, should I get it? Absolutely. You should get the DIY. Well, quite frankly, you should get the one-on-one coaching. But we always telling people, right? We don't push people,
either way.
But if the financial piece is a problem, I would say apply for our financing. But the one-on-one coaching is always your best bet because it involves everything.
Right. Yeah.
Right. The DIY involves everything without me.
Right.
So if you're somebody that says, well, Derek, I don't need your one-on-one coaching. Just give me all the material, all the documents, all the videos of you. Give me the VA. And still build my website and CRM system and my phone system.
Right. Yeah.
I can do that still for $9.97. So that's an absolute cheat code. Because if y'all know anything about our VA service, that's $6.97 by itself.
Right.
So for you to get all my coaching, all the documents, all the paperwork, and the complimentary VA and the complimentary CRM website system that we give you, like that's almost crazy if people don't get that. So we did that because times are crazy and tough. And we just want to be a super blessing for people. So again, the DIY guys is only $9.97.
Yeah.
Just text the word to that number below, DIY, and we'll absolutely
what's the phone number?
Get you guys. It's 407-326-0086. But it's also scrolling at the bottom. Text word DIY if you want that at $9.97, and we'll send you that invoice. Miss Shay, back on you.
I'm hungry and I'm ready to go to bed. I'm serious. I feel like
ladies and gentlemen, that's it for us. We're going to go and probably go check on that special placement. We had plans to go tomorrow, but since we're ending early tonight, I think we'll go ahead and do that. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to check the chat. I don't see anything else. Tay was the last question. She says, thank you. Okay. That's it.
I have one tip.
Go ahead.
When you're doing your VA interview, think of everything task oriented, right? What task are you looking for the VA to do? Be able to ask those questions when you're in the interview. Also, ask one question that I'm going to give you here live. Ask them what is their downtime, or in the event of a power outage, what is their process? So make sure you ask that question. You're looking for
that there are a lot of
rolling, like they have rolling.
There are a lot of storms or like crazy weather in the Philippines. So oftentimes they'll lose power. Mm-hmm. And I'll just give you guys another gem right here, right? Just for free. That's usually inside of that VA course. I asked the question, do you have a generator, a backup generator?
And backup
Wi-Fi.
Wi-Fi.
Like a VA that even if they lose power, there's some kind of generator or backup Wi-Fi that they can still plug up to continue to work.
Yeah.
As you guys know, Shay and I are extremely busy. We have a lot of businesses and a lot going on. We actually can't afford for them to be down. Not everybody at one time. So as you guys see earlier, our team is fairly large. right? And can you imagine if everybody goes down? Now, lucky for us, Alex and Danish don't live in the Philippines.
But
Alex lives in Nigeria.
But
Danish lives in Pakistan. But Shay, you want to share with them what happened in Nigeria the other day?
But yes.
Please do.
So prime example, when you are working with individuals overseas, especially in whole different continents, you want to be mindful of things that take place in their area that will cause what we consider blackouts, and not blackouts in just power. I'm talking about everything. So prime example, one of our VAs did not show up for work on Friday.
Very unlikely of him.
Very unlike him.
So we knew something was weird.
Very unlike him. It's quite interesting. And what we noticed is, I noticed something because I had a meeting with a company out of the similar area in Africa, and was able to see that they were under different strategic or strict guidelines because of civil unrest. When there's civil unrest in those nations, they will do what they consider blackouts. So they are not allowed, like they shut down internet completely, like shut it down. Ain't no access to nobody's Wi-Fi.
In America, just about a month ago, guys. I don't know if you guys remember that, but all the airlines and the internet but they literally for a whole day
they shut
the internet down. So can you imagine businesses and things of that nature
are unable
and guys, we wouldn't be able to tell you this kind of stuff if we weren't already in it. So that's why we not brag, but guys, we're some pretty good coaches, because again, we're in what we're doing. We're not trying to teach you guys something that we're not in, right? We house the homeless and the displaced, we teach it. We use virtual assistants every day in our business. We tell you guys and we teach that. So again, don't forget to visit www.va101.co, not .com, but www.va101.co to get you guys a rock star virtual assistant. And there was one more question in the chat. And she said,
so Ms.
That's Peters, a great question, actually.
Very good question.
That monthly membership for VA101 is only $27 a month. And what it does is this. We're so good at VA101 that we give everybody a 90-day free replacement of your VA. So let's just say, Ms. Peters, you get this VA and 45 days into it, they're not as great as they was in the first 2 weeks. And you said, Derek, you know what? I tried to train this VA up. I gave her 2 or 3 chances. Derek, she ain't cutting it no more. I want to fire her.
A replacement.
No problem. We replaced that VA for free, guys.
Yep.
So can you imagine a company that's so certain of how good these VAs are and how well it'll be that we give y'all 90 days to say yeah or nay if you want them or not? Yeah. I don't care if you get to day 88 and you said, man, you know what? Derek did say I get 90 days. I don't really like this girl. I don't think she's as good as Jess or Tara. The way Derek brag on his VAs, I'm going to try another one. But do not call my team on day 91, day 93.
Please don't.
Or day 112 and say, Derek, boy, I know you told me 90 days, but
I'm a fuss at
first of all, you're not going to be talking to me anyway, right? You'll be talking to Tara or Ariel, and they got a strict rule with that 90 from us. So again, take full advantage. Listen to me on this, guys. Take full advantage and watch them very closely for the first 90 days to make sure you really like them.
Right.
But watch this. I tell everybody, you're going to know in the first 2 weeks, guys, if you got you a good VA or not. It's not going to take 90 days.
Yeah.
We just give y'all that loan. But back to the original point. If you wait to day 93, but you're paying this $27 a month, you can still replace the VA anytime you want. And it also puts you in a VIP community.
Yes.
Prime example, you can go in that community, ask questions, anything related to that VA and how to make passive income, make money, right? How to start businesses from that VA. There's already teaching that's in it too.
Right.
So the newer people that come in, you guys come into a bunch of stuff
that's
already
there, yeah.
But again, really slowly, because I kind of went long on that other part, the $27 a month covers the insurance after your 90 days.
Mm-hmm.
So again, if you get to day 150 and they're not that great, because you're paying the insurance, you can still trade that VA.
It's like a
no
home
problem.
warranty.
Yeah. So, and it also puts you in a VIP community where there's teaching about, again, how to utilize this VA. And you can still ask us questions in there, and we'll either shoot a video about what you asked or type out your answer.
And that's the quickest way. Like, prime example, Ms. Peters, if you ever have an issue or a question, that is the fastest way to get a response.
Yep.
instead of trying to get, with us or anything like that. We have so many people that utilize virtual assistants that they'll be the ones to help navigate you as well as us. So remember, we're in there as admins. Our team, we've got VAs in there as admins. We've got super amazing other coaches in there that can help you navigate the space as well.
And also,
with the virtual assistant.
And just on the financial side, to get a virtual assistant from VA 101, guys, is a one-time fee for $697. Yep. That's still very affordable to get your own assistant, right? But the $27 a month for 12 months, guys, is only $324. So see how that makes sense to get the actual insurance? Because why pay the $697 when you can literally pay $27 a month? And even if it went for the whole year, it's only $324. I got this on my calculator. So again, that's a no-brainer. Shay's yawning. She's hungry. We better get out of here. We're also here every Tuesday at 6 p.m. Sometime that's going to be a recording. Sometime it's going to be us live. And then when we're not here, we're going to be in our workshop. Correct. So if you're not joining the workshop, in fact, if you want to be a part of the one that's coming up, I can't remember if Tara made a word for it. I'm sure she did. Text the word workshop.
Yeah.
If you want to be a part of the workshop on the 27th of this month, again, it's about the assessment, and we're actually going to give you the assessment as well, the actual one that we use. And we're also going to go line for line on each question to show what we're asking, why we're asking for it, and what we're looking for. Because remember, we're trying to avoid that knucklehead, and we're trying to get the great guy. Okay?
Can we say something different than knucklehead?
I kind of like that word, though. Because it's better than saying kind of what I really want to say.
Were you a knucklehead growing up?
Oh, I absolutely was. Ask my mom. She's probably on this live somewhere.
That's the reason why.
Mom, Forston, if you hear, you better tell them. But I eventually panned out. God touched me and I changed my life. So I'm a good guy now. And if it weren't for Shay, I'd probably still be a bad guy. So thank God for a great wife.
You weren't a bad guy when I met you.
Well, not like that, but I'm saying, like, I wouldn't be as complete without you, honey.
Oh, you're
your beautiful self.
Get out of here, man.
Anyway, y'all, when we tired, I'm gonna whisper Shay some sweet nothing in her ear real quick. We're gonna go check on our guy. We're gonna get us something to eat, and we're gonna probably sleep real good tonight.
I hope so.
Y'all be blessed. Let the love of God be shed abroad amongst each and every one of you. My name is Derek Forster. I approve this entire message. Now unto him that is able to do exceedingly abundantly above all we can ever ask or think, according to God's power that worketh in us. You guys be great, and we'll see y'all tomorrow.
Let his love be shed abroad.
Hey, what's going on, family? Just to let you know really quick, everything that you're listening to right now, I actually have it in a more structured way in a webinar. So when you guys get done here, go to forsterconsultants.com, click the tab that says webinars, and there's 2 webinars there. One is for you to be the actual ILF operator, meaning that you want to do it. And then the other one is the HRA. That stands for Housing Referral Agency, where you're able to take people from homeless to hopeful, and you actually don't need the real estate. It stands for a Housing Referral Agency, and we call it a business in a box. But definitely go to forsterconsultants.com, watch both of those webinars, then set up a free strategy call with me and my team, and let's see how we can get you started. Back to the show.